I was 12 years old when I learned my first scripture, John 3:16. Tim Tebow led the charge, OT in Denver, but it was heard throughout the walls of the Sistine. Millie's watching him up on a stage, and everybody looked it up. I like to think the good he did with all the fame, and I wanted to join the club. See, it wasn't about the Super Bowl and all the spoils, but the messages it sent. He spread the word to foreign soils. People who never felt love for the first time. I'm hoping maybe I could do that through little songs and stupid rhymes. I watch my friends get married. They're making beautiful baby girls. They're buying homes, creating life, changing the world. And I can't help but think that I am not enough. Like, when's that happening to me? I can't be seen, I can't be loved. But then it hits me. Proverbs 14:30. Envy causes problems, kills your peace and turns you dirty. So I could only focus on developing myself. Like, there's a reason for these cries. I stop the lies and offer help. I work with cards that I am dealt. I share these stories, mental wealth. When you embrace all your mistakes and bear your cross, pain kills itself. Like, there's a reason for your trials. There's a reason for your passions. There's a reason why you learn the consequence of all your actions. You do not know right now, but later you'll understand that he put you through those things so you become a better man, and you'll be thankful. So thankful, but I can't lie. I struggle with faith sometimes, and I ask why. I question his work some nights. I try to look up when I feel stuck. I try to look up, and I put my faith in it.
What's going on, everybody? Hello, welcome to Cuestacast. How are we doing out there on this Wednesday, May 20th, 2026, episode number 9. It feels weird, Dave, saying episode number 9, considering we did like almost 200 episodes of the Alex Cuesta show, and it's just
that's just your fault.
It is. Well, yeah. No, it is your fault for having the same last name and being here.
It's your fault.
I blame
you.
You're
the one that makes choices. Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Just saw Obsession yesterday.
You've been going out and seeing a whole bunch of movies lately.
Yes, yeah. Well, I mean, it's actually a pretty crazy month for horror in general. Because now we have Backrooms coming up, and we have Passenger as well, and they all look pretty damn good. So I saw Obsession yesterday. It's very good. I'm actually gonna go see it again tomorrow night.
I hope you're putting the reviews on Critic List for these.
I am not. I have not been doing anything on Critic List, which is
Blaine.
bad.
Boo this man. Boo this man, Blaine.
I've been seeing so much that I could actually review, and I just haven't been doing it.
We need to get you an offshoot channel where you just review horror movies.
I know. I should be doing stuff like that.
Listen, you got all the time in the world. We're not going to talk about that. We're done talking about you. Yeah, but everyone, wherever you're watching from, we appreciate you. Whether it's Rumble, we're going to highlight Rumble today. Rumble, YouTube X, Facebook, or Kick. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, follow, do all that good stuff if you're not doing it already. Last episode, last Tuesday, we had the enjoyment of talking to a technically reoccurring guest, artist formerly known as Mitsu, Eric Diazio. We had fun talking to him. He's over on Twitch. He's on Rumble. He's not making all of his stuff yet there. He'll be back. But you catch him on Side Scrollers a bunch, and he pays attention to the gaming world, entertainment world like the rest of us. So it was a ton of fun. And as we always do when we talk to Mitsu, we just jump in there and start talking wrestling. And that's just how it goes down. We end up going down the wrestling route. So it was a good time. Make sure you go back, give that episode a watch. But this week, we're excited because Rumble is obviously a platform that is on the rise. With YouTube fucking up consistently, it just gives Rumble more and more of an opportunity to do some awesome stuff. So this is an individual here that has been, I consider someone that I've seen, a big ambassador carrying the torch for the gaming on Rumble movement. Let's bring him in. He is the man, the myth. He is Lumpy Potato. What's up, man?
Hey. Well, thank you. That was a fucking intro, man. I'm gonna have to clip that for my stream.
He gave you the McGregor intro.
I know. That was a good one.
I mean, listen, from the
someone
get-go,
clip that in chat, please. Send that to me.
From the get-go, from when like Rumble was really jumping off and it started, like you've been on Rumble, I don't know from the very beginning, but pretty damn early on.
Yeah, I wouldn't say from the beginning. I know there was a lot of creators that were here before me. But when I did jump, it was very early stages. I wouldn't say early stages because Rumble's been around for a decent while now. But I don't think until I joined, we started seeing like these major changes that we're all enjoying now, as well as like UI upgrades and different changes.
Yeah.
Like I remember streaming on Rumble and categories wasn't even a thing, right? You had to.
It was so basic. It
No,
was crazy,
yes,
the UI.
you and it's like there was no set of discovery, so you just had to like refresh and hopefully somebody came to your stream. You prayed. So it's come such a long way, man. It really has. But it feels like forever we've been on here. And every year it's just been a great time. It's just a great experience meeting new people, interacting with new people, seeing new faces, and seeing it grow is actually something that's like a passion to me. Like I know we'll get into the talks about it, but like me coming to Rumble, I've always said this on my streams, is like Lumpy was never to be here to be like the next biggest creator. Like I never wanted that title. I don't need the hundreds of this or that. All I wanted to do was see a platform grow for creators and open up opportunities for them. You know what I mean? Like for everyday creators like you and I that want to put out content that we like and have opportunity, because I've seen other platforms like we're going to talk about with YouTube and Twitch and all these other platforms that are dropping the ball. It's like, where do you go? Right. You have no other alternative. Right. And here's Rumble.
Needs to be that.
Correct.
And the thing that I think you helped really push along, and we've had some great Rumble creators on the show already. We had This Is the Ray, we had Jobless Creates.
Great creators.
We have some awesome individuals that jump on. And one of the things I think you really helped usher in is getting that gaming side. Yes. Because Rumble was so political heavy. Like it was right-wing politics, and you had no reason to go there if you didn't like politics. Like you really didn't. And I like politics, so I didn't care. I would watch it anyway. But if you're just somebody that I lean right, but I like gaming more, I lean right, or I like pop culture more, why would I go to Rumble? They have no one there. I'm going to go watch, Geeks and Gamers on, YouTube, or I'm going to go watch Side Scrollers on YouTube instead. But everyone is slowly but surely starting to come over. And I know the Geeks and Gamers reference probably isn't the greatest one with Rumble. We know Jeremy talking all the time, but overall, it's nice to see now that there are so many creators on that gaming side that are really pushing it and are very loud about it too. I know Phoenix over from Side Scrollers is
great dude.
Constantly talking about. I love Phoenix. He's fantastic. So it's really good. I just want to take a chance to say hello to some of the comments here. Some of the people, Nate G coming in with the fellas. What's up, Nate? Always here.
Nate.
Megamoo32 in the chat. Meg, answer your damn DMs. You got to come on the show. So
she's too busy for us.
I know she's over at DreamHack. She's too big.
Understandably busy.
Listen, she's awesome though. I love watching her streams and the nostalgia and stuff. I told her the other day, I mentioned Crazy Bones from back in the day. She needs to do a nostalgia piece about Crazy Bones. Wishnick coming in. What's up, Wishnick? Nate G saying people still go to the theater. Some people do. Okay, if you want that good experience for a real movie, you got to go into the theater. Adam Pizza saying theaters went downhill when Regal took over. Honestly, it's funny. So I have my Regal over here in Poughkeepsie where I'm at. The local mom and pop spent money, cleaned up their theaters, put a whole bunch of reclining and loungers, and it is cheaper, cleaner, better. It kicks the shit out of Regal. I don't want to go anywhere near Regal. So if you want to combat with Regal, really give a reason for your local mom and pop one, if you have one, to clean up, go there, and it'll do it. So that's my big thing. So
my local theater is good enough, especially if I just go by myself. I'm not spending a lot of money. I can just go see a movie if I want to. So I'm more than happy to go to my local theater.
Yeah. I feel like movies have been crazy expensive nowadays.
They are.
I have 2 kids, and trying to take my kids to go. And again, this is where the local theater helps. Because if I go to the local one and I take my 2 kids, me and my wife, the tickets are under $40, which is fantastic, right? They're under 40, and the concessions are usually where they get you. It's not an arm and a leg there either. So I can go see a kids movie, 4 of us getting popcorn and stuff for like under $70, $60, which is awesome for the theaters right now. Because usually family of 4, you're talking with everything, they're spending like $120. So
yeah, exactly. And that's not including the popcorn they overcharge.
It is crazy. Wishnick, happy Wednesday to you as well. I appreciate that. So Lumpy, I want to ask you the question that I need to know, and it's really important.
Yes.
Why the hell are you a lumpy potato?
That's a great question. I know we talked about it before. So how it comes down, I mean, I've tried content creating many years. I've I've did the whole Twitch thing, the Mixer thing before, that went downhill.
Yep.
And like every creator goes through that like rebrand period, you know what I mean? Where they like take back man, I want to change up, or I want something fresh. I want to, brand new sort of image.
A different vibe, different feel.
So what's the best thing to do nowadays is you go to one of those AI name generators, right? And Lumpy Potato came out, and I thought it was great. And a lot of people were like, "Oh, that's great," but where's the X2 come from? It's because I have 2 kids, so times 2.
That's awesome.
So that's how it came about. So name generator, and then
you pulled a Childish Gambino.
Yes.
You straight up did that.
You know what's funny too? Because like your name, I think if someone hears it, they're automatically going to think, oh, he's a VTuber, right? Like, honestly, like you hear Lumpy Potato, you just think that you're just going to see a spud with eyes talking to you. And
it's true.
Maybe that could be your alter ego one day. Maybe you can make a little VTube thing. And just like, if you hang out with the VTubers, you could throw up your spud instead.
Yeah. I just can't get around that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just not I'm the type of person to be out front. I don't know, hide behind a thing. Listen, no, to each his own. Like that's up to you. But like, I don't know.
I'm just always curious how many of them are actually girls. Like, honestly, like I really feel like a good 75% of them look like us with a really good voice changer.
Possibly. Yeah. Yes, probably.
I really,
it's real creepy now thinking about it, right?
It's pretty gross. But you know what though? I think Lumpy, I feel like me and you are probably similar-ish age. I'm 37. How old are you? In that area?
In that area, yep. But I feel like lower. Yeah, I'm younger than you.
But we survived AOL chat rooms, right? Yes. Where nobody was real. Age, sex, location, all that shit and everything. So it's like, this is just the natural extension as technology gets better. Yes. Like it's all gross and disgusting. So
millennials, right? I should say we're
millennials. Dave's a borderline millennial.
I don't know if I'm in the millennial camp. I don't know. It doesn't
matter.
No
one wants
I think it cuts off at 96.
He is 96.
I am 96.
All right, so you're a millennial, yeah.
Our generation sucks. So I honestly, it's
we got shit canned. What do you mean? We were the guinea pigs for all technology, right? That's probably why we have so much social disorder. But not only that, like we got forgotten about. Really, I think we did. Our generation got forgot about. Think about that.
I will say though, you guys had, especially because I experienced some of that technology through my siblings. You guys had a lot of fun going through.
Oh yeah,
the first part of technology, really. Like there is a lot of stuff that you can't really do now, or you actually have to look for it more that you did back in the day.
Yeah, it's true. Like the dial-up connection where you don't we're online and then your mom picked up the phone call.
A little motherfucker running across. You better get to your family. If that guy does not get to his family, I'm pissed.
And how loud that shit was connecting the dial-up. Oh my god,
that was loud. And I still remember like being able to just switch to like HDMI and just turn on my PlayStation. I remember having to go to channel 3.
Yeah.
And that and you can't smack your
there's the red, yellow.
Yeah, the coaxials.
The coaxial.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And just our TVs. Like I feel like all of us got like jacked legs because we had to lift those big ass gray or black TVs. And they were 700 pounds. And here you are, a 9-year-old, trying to pick that up. Like,
those are the worst. The tube televisions, right?
They were just
the heavy front, right? The back was light as fuck, but the glass was a million pounds.
If you didn't get the right ratio, and like the one thing was, it's like my dad's gonna beat me if I break his TV. Oh, yeah. I need to move it back before mom and dad get home. Like, I would take the living room TV because mine was too small. So I was that asshole.
Yeah, that was a time, man. That was a time.
Wishnick over here saying, nah, Gen X was the freaking guinea pigs. Listen, there could be multiple levels of guinea pig. We don't have to compete, right? We can all friggin' suck. And I think the one thing we can agree upon is the government hates all of us. That is number one. But I want to jump into Rumble Gaming. We touched on it a little bit, just talking a little. So you have been someone who, again, I consider you an ambassador for the gaming on Rumble.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Movement. I'm going to call it a movement because it's still not complete, right? We still need to make sure that it gets there and that there's the value for the major creators of YouTube, of Twitch, of Kick to at least stream as well to Rumble, right?
Yeah.
And ultimately make it their main hub. So how has things been going on in Rumble, like in the internals? I know you have some internal connections. How have the things been internally in terms of conversations and how it's going and what's the outlook?
I think they're pretty transparent with it, especially on social media. They've been a little bit better, especially over the last couple years. Making the gaming on Rumble sort of side and interacting with people. Now, as much as like gaming has gone, I mean, when I joined Rumble, my goal was to bring alternative content, right, and gaming
Yeah,
content to
yeah.
Rumble because, like you said, it was a heavily political sort of driven website
Mhm.
because everybody with the whole COVID days and this and that got banned or blacklisted from whatever platform they're on, and they came over to Rumble. So,
Yep.
that kind of dominated here.
Yep.
So the gaming content was very, very, very like minimal. There were people gaming on here, but it was minimal. So when I came, it was like, how can we make this gaming thing sort of progress, right?
Mhm.
It took a lot of conversations. It took a lot of like fucking nagging and getting Chris and everybody else to kind of look at us and be like this. So I think the best thing was the gaming sort of section really, really helped Rumble sort of develop their platform
Definitely.
in the sense of improvement, right? Because you look at it, the gamers are like really fucking picky when it comes to things, especially
Yes.
like quality
Well, we're all
experiences.
autistic, right? All
Yeah,
your gaming people, like you have some level of autism if you're willing to
yeah,
sit down and pour 100 hours into
it's
anything.
it's true. So we came up with these ideas and crashed them and broke them
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
and Rumble used us as those guinea pigs. And I think it was like kind of that like relationship where it's like, wow, the gamers are actually helping us, and not
Mhm.
only that, they're leading us in the right direction. So
Mhm.
I kind of bridge that gap, and it's kind of crazy because I think the first event that I went to that I was invited to at Rumble was like the Republican debate, political fucking event, right?
Yeah,
Holy
of
shit,
course, of
right?
course.
And
So
here
you
I
had to
am sitting down in this fucking political debate in Miami. And they're like, everybody's talking about this and that. They're like, yo, what do you do? I'm like, I play fucking Fortnite, bro. And you're like, what? They're like, yeah, what do you do on this platform? Like, I play video games. They're like, get the fuck out
I'm
of here. I'm
waiting for
like,
the
yeah,
next skin to come out so I can
yeah.
fucking download it and play it on my stream and talk about it. Like,
They're like, wow, that's crazy. And they're like, how'd you do that? And you get into that conversation where he's like,
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
found a sort of avenue that Rumble didn't have, and that was
Mhm.
gaming. And they're
Mhm.
like, wow, that's kind of crazy that I didn't think about it. And then when you start to talk about it and kind of like kind of explain that, that's kind of what lit the fire, because like even the people at Rumble didn't know what was going on. It was like I
Well, it's
introduced it
hard,
to them.
right? It's
Yeah.
hard because they see like here's our outlet, right? COVID's
Yeah.
happening. Let's get all the political people here. That's working.
Yeah.
We're starting to get numbers. We have Crowder coming. We had Bongino
Mhm.
initially. It was like
Yeah.
everyone was there, and we're getting a few million people to watch this. So
Yeah.
why deviate from anything else? And I'm happy that Chris was willing to listen and that Michael's involved and things like that. And
Hmm.
they're willing to sit there and let you guys chip away and eventually go, no, we should invest in the pop culture side, in the gaming side, because
Hmm.
I think it will keep them alive significantly longer. Because if they would have just
If
stayed politics, they would
if they
eventually fail.
want to, the thing is, and I think they understand this. If you want to be an actual alternative platform, one that people are going to go to, you
Hmm.
can't just be right wing politics.
Yeah. No.
Especially, you can't just be right wing politics that was censored. Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
even more niche.
Yeah.
So you have to diversify. And like I said, it's obviously something that they understand now.
Yeah, and it was like I said, it was something that I even brought up to them, and like I was able, like, at these events that I brought myself to, like a lot of people think that like, oh well, how'd you get to this? Like there were times where it's like I knew that there was an event, and I flew myself there or drove myself there and showed up and
The
was like, yo,
ambition. Yep.
they're like, oh shit, you're a creator, come on by, and that's kind of how it like happened, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people think that it was kind of like, oh well, they got me there, like majority of everything. I don't even think there was one thing, even the creator house, like we put up the idea or that, and we got ourselves there, and then we
Mhm.
sold the idea. Like I said, there were people at Rumble and still to this day have no idea what the gaming section is or alternative, because a lot of their sort of motion, like you said, is politics.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but a lot of people don't understand that this is a business, right? A
Yep.
lot of these
Yep.
political shows make a lot of fucking money, man.
100%. The
And
ads that
get
they sell.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
And
Hell yeah.
guess who's getting the kickback is Rumble. So of
Mhm.
course
Yep.
that's what they're
Yep.
focused on and catering to. But now you have this guy that's like gaming, 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 and now all of a sudden they're starting to put eyes on creators, like me and others that are doing it. And there's a lot of people that are doing it a lot better than me. But now kind of opens up that conversation and kind of that like it's not such a pigeonhole anymore, and that they're elaborating more and more content. So like Dave said, it's like in order for us or Rumble to succeed, they need to have that, right? Because in this day and age, you can't just, politics is like a wave. It kind of goes up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
Where if you have sort of content that's all over, you have now so many eggs that you could hatch.
And the thing too is like Rumble is going to know that they win when Polygon is like, hey, we want to make a big Rumble channel. When our competitors, when the people we disagree with, when IGN is like, it now
when
is
they're forced to do it, right?
You go to Rumble, right? Where we need to branch out because this avenue is too big and there are too many eyes here, Dexerto, and even like someone like a Hassan Piker in Destiny. Like when they sit there and they're like, hey, we're going to go to Rumble. And because that's when they win. You don't only want to keep the 50% that you have that agree with you.
Yeah.
You want the other 50% to be on there. And that's kind of what YouTube had pigeonholed because they were the only outlet for so long.
Yeah, the biggest thing is adaptation, especially nowadays. And you're starting to see it with Rumble when they start working with these big creators because of their following, right? You want to adapt sort of that sort of avenue of audience to the platform. Experience is one of them, right? We all know about experience. Each platform has its own experience. And I think that Rumble is starting to really realize that, especially in the last couple of years where they've been amplifying some of the updates, the UIs, the personalizations.
The Rumble rants have been great where they take a significant amount less, and the Rumble wallet is awesome. Great ideas there.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where they're going to continue to keep short form content now. Like there are things that they're going to start to put out, but it's more of adaptation with the industry right now. We always seen Rumble was always behind on the curve, but now they're starting to push ahead and starting to adapt these things, and I think that that's what they needed. So it's going to take time. I think that the foundation is there. They got the Rumble Cloud, which is their infrastructure, which a lot of people don't understand is that a lot of these sort of sites like Kick, I use Kick as the best one. I don't hate people that stream on Kick. Listen, to each his own. Kick's on AWS, that's Amazon servers. Now, if you guys don't know technology, at the end of the day, those servers are owned by AWS, so they tell you the rules, right?
Well, that's what fucked Parler in the end, right? Parler, I think they were on AWS, and they sat there, and AWS just stopped hosting them, and Parler didn't have enough money to switch and do their own servers. And Parler was a legitimate competitor to all the other social medias, but exactly what you said, AWS really holds them by the balls.
Yeah, so Rumble actually owns data centers all over the world. And if you haven't followed sort of their publicly traded company, so a lot of the shit is public, is like they inquired, was it Northern Data or something like that it's called?
Yeah, they got something pretty big,
and they own the physical hardware. So it's like you have a platform that's not only bringing you services like streaming services and interactive services, of course, locals too is on their service. But they're owning infrastructure now and hosting, now what is it? When I was in Miami, the Miami Dolphins, right? The Miami Dolphins whole infrastructure is now on the Rumble Cloud. Which is stuff like that.
So cool. That's gonna keep them afloat because that gives them backing money to do more stuff there.
Exactly, and it allows them to set their own rules. Like you said, Kick really has to listen to Amazon at the end of the day.
Amazon goes down. Guess what happens to Kick? Their services are affected, right? Or if Amazon comes out with new rules and regulations or cuts down or cuts back on there, they're going to have to figure out where to host.
Which I'm surprised Kick hasn't already been fucked with Amazon with the things they allow, to be quite honest.
Oh, yeah.
Kick is the Wild West. Like, at least Rumble's like, if it's illegal, we can't put it on. Like,
Rumble's a little Wild West, too.
Rumble's Wild West, too.
To Rumble.
Rumble draws the line of if it's really illegal, we're not going to do it. Like, we're going to...
Yeah,
I think only censorship they have is illegal shit.
Yeah, I think they have gotten better with moderation, especially as the team has grown, as I've seen. And of course, people have mixed feelings about it. But of course, like you said, it's the Wild West, but they kind of have to play by the rules because of what they're against, right?
Well, Stutter and Craig said that they have 200 people that work there. That is not a lot for as big as what they're trying to do.
Yeah, it's small.
Where you think of Alphabet, Google, YouTube, they have thousands of employees and 200 people and a handful of devs working their asses off to try and make things better and to try and be original. Again, I think the Rumble Wallet's the best thing they put out yet. They've done a lot of good things, but the Rumble Wallet is something that YouTube hasn't done, that none of these other social media or platforms have done. And it's setting them apart because now that is something you could dangle ahead.
Yeah.
It's really good that they've got something out that's theirs.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. And it's only going to progress. I mean, like you said, you got to have the foundation, and once you have the foundation, you kind of can go up from there.
So I want to get a few comments here. Nate G saying being forgotten was the price of having TGIF and Prime Nickelodeon. I mean, I'll take it. And then even I guess you could throw Toonami in there because Toonami is fucking fantastic and Adult Swim. Wishnick saying you had it easy. We had freaking floppy disks and slow ass computers. Hey, my first computer was with floppy disks and MS DOS. I remember playing the Gorillas game
that?
where you had to pick coordinates and you would fucking throw a gorilla over a bunch of not a gorilla, a banana over a bunch of cities and try to destroy the other one. It was fantastic. Wishnick saying no internet until late 80s. You had it better, okay? The internet kind of fucked things up as well as it made things amazing. Wishnick saying Rick is the ultimate rock star. I'm going to ignore this obvious little thing from Drini here. Nate G saying Rumble needs DSP. Honestly, DSP would be a unicorn for them. Like, yes,
well,
everyone needs DSP is going to survive forever. So why not?
I don't know about all that.
Oh, he'll always be around. He will outlive all of us. Wishnick also saying, no, Hassan, we don't need that evil here. Sorry, don't care what their politics are. I think it would be bad for Rumble to have people like that here. Here's the thing. Hassan should probably be investigated for a lot of shit, but I'm the type of person where I want to hear a psycho like Hassan because then I know what he thinks. He's out there. I'm that much of a free speech person where I want to let these people say as much as possible so we know them and bury them. Hassan is much better than the centrist that is really extreme to one end or the other, and they fucking suck. I will take Hassan's craziness because at least I know where he stands. Nate, you saying this upcoming Dolphins team is about to break the hardware with success this season. Hopefully. They got to start Zach Wilson. That's it. They're going to be fucking terrible. One thing that has been a criticism of Rumble by a lot of people is that it is hard as a small creator to truly get noticed, to truly make it. Now, I know they have the Rumble Creator, the program now. Have they seen that be a big help to small creators in terms of getting them to grow and really start to make money and, do ultimately be noticed there?
Yeah, I think it comes to the conversation where it's like, as a small creator, you also have to do the footwork, right? You have to grow as a person. So if you went on any other platform, it's like fishing in a barrel there where you go live and you hope somebody stumbles along or this or that, or you just get watered out. So it comes where a fine line where a creator understands like what they need to do. Now, the creator program, I think a lot of people thought it was like, oh, it's a great money grab, but it's now with the statistics, it's a goal. It's to make the creator better, right? And then reward them, because at the end of the day, it's a partnership. And I think that a lot of people forgot that, especially as it grown for month to month, is that Rumble wants to see growth and they're pushing you to grow while you're earning and being rewarded for it, right? But it's up to the creator to do that. You get paid and rewarded for exposure, right? Like for me, like I use X. X is like a big thing for me. It's kind of the only social media that I push and make my connections on, and then I draw that to my streams, right? So if you have that sort of avenue, you could, but you also I can't even speak. You also you have to grow with the platform, right?
He speaks for a living, everyone.
Yes.
No.
It's a long fucking day. You have to understand that you're growing with the platform here at Rumble too. So you have a handicap. There's not a lot of people. There's not a lot of people. It's the same people. So if you're not bringing new people to the platform and you're expecting that sort of viral moment, it's likely not going to happen on this. And where a lot of people or a lot of creators get discouraged is they see creators do it and then they try to do it and then they don't. And then they're like, oh, this platform's ass or this is that. And they bad talk it. But it's like, no, you have to understand where you're coming from. But in this industry, a lot of people look for that golden spoon. You know what I mean? But it takes a lot of dedication, a lot of work. I've been doing this for over 10 years. I failed. I've been streaming to 1 people, 2 people. Still to this day, sometimes, you get the 10 people and that's it. Less than that.
I've been at it for 8 years doing different types of shows, and you have to enjoy it too. Like, I enjoy this. I enjoy talking to new people like you, and I forced Dave to eventually do a show with me, and I don't think Dave regrets it. We've talked to a lot of really cool fucking people. And that's one of the things too. If you're looking to do this to get rich, then you're probably doing the wrong thing. If you're not enjoying yourself, then don't do it.
Yeah, and that's like the thing too. And I was the type of person where it's like I want to make my time valuable, and how can I do that? And that's kind of like the creative program, right? It's like, how do I push myself? The sponsors, right? My biggest sponsor is Grunt Style, and that's been fucking amazing for the last 3 years. Check them out, gruntstyle.com. LumpyPotatoX2. There's a plug.
There you go.
It's like one of those things as a creator. It's like what you want out of it, right? If you're doing it as a hobby, then you do it as a hobby. Then you don't look at the numbers, and it comes with it. And if it's successful, it's successful. But then you have those creators who want to do it as something that's more than that, or want to earn from that. Well, then you have to work like that. You know, you have to put in the numbers. You have to really dive deep on what's working, what's not working. But a lot of these creators, man, I hate to say it, they plead like the victim role, and they do like the charity case, and it's like, oh, but what about me? It's like, what about you, man? Everybody else is doing the same fucking shit
What
you're
sets
doing.
you apart? Why should somebody watch yours? Or, you know, 'cause here's the thing. Dude, people are going to sit there, and if people like Lumpy's, you know, your content, they're going to watch somebody that's similar to you because they like that type of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But you still have to set yourself apart, because why pick to watch Lumpy's video before anybody else's video, right?
And that's up to the creator.
Yeah, and it's like you have certain people that'll dedicate their time to be like, oh, Lumpy's putting out a stream, but I like this other person. I'm gonna watch Lumpy's instead. Like, why should they do that? Right?
It's all personality, man.
100%.
It's all personality and interaction and what you're bringing to the table. I mean, there's a reason why I dive deep into like working with the games and different studios, is because then I introduce myself to those communities. And then they'd be like, what the fuck you stream? I was like, I stream on Rumble. Like, I'm doing a stream tomorrow. It's all fucking Twitch creators, and it's like me with the Rumble. So it's like that creates conversation, because people are like,
100%.
wow, where do you stream? You stream on Rumble? Like, yeah, man, check it out, man. It's good. And that's how I build my sort of following, whether, you know, but my goal is to bring people to Rumble. Like, that's my goal, is introduce people to Rumble and be like, yo, try it out for yourself, and let them determine that. A lot of people are in it for like, oh, I want to grow my sub count. I want to hit, you know, this amount of subs, because, you know, and it's like, okay, you can do that. But then you have to understand, like, it takes work, it takes networking. Like, this is a networking industry, 100%. And it's not, it's about who you know. I'm gonna be honest. It's like the film industry.
Yeah. And I noticed you guys are a tight-knit group. There's a good group of you guys, and, you know, Meg obviously hopped in, you know, and we had Lady Desiree on and stuff, and like I said,
people,
the Ray, Jobless and stuff, and you guys are awesome with each other, right? You're a tight-knit group. You rate each other all the time, and I feel like, especially with something small and starting out like this, that's what it takes, right? Finding those group of people that are like-minded, that are going to grind with you, that want to grow together, right? Like, you're not an official group, but if you get 1,000 more followers, but Meg doesn't, Meg's not going to pout and be like, I didn't get 1,000. It's going to be like, Lumpy, let's go. Like, that's what you want. And you want it to be genuine. You want people to really root for each other.
You know, I'm kind of like, you know, one thing is that you base yourself off your own, like the people that you know and the people that you interact with, your circle or whatever you call it. You know, I came out with a comment like a couple months ago, and it went crazy because I called something the circle jerk. And they're like, oh, they're like, oh, Lumpy hates community events. This and that. No, I didn't say I hate community events. What I said was, a lot of creators base their success on the circle, and that is false. You cannot do that, because that's like me, you, Alex, and Dave always streaming together and sharing the same viewers. Me rating you, me sending you subs, me giving you subs, you giving me subs. That creates that circle. And that inflates kind of success, I call it, right? It's not real success, because one day you're going to stop doing it. It's because you don't got the fucking money to do it. It's because you're wasting the funds that you're making. And it stops that evolution where, you know, like these streaming groups, like it's one thing, like if you're signed to like, you know, Ghost Gaming or like some big, like that's completely different. But like if you have a streaming group, you're basically sharing. You're sharing it. And it doesn't. And the only person that benefits, if you look at any streaming group, even on Rumble, the only one that benefits is the person on the top from that streaming group. And there's some, and I'm not going to say it because I don't want this to get clipped, and next thing you know, you guys got 10 dislikes on it. But we
don't care. We're in it.
You know, there are streaming groups, even on Rumble. Look at the person that's the most successful in that group. There's always one. There's always one person. Okay? Why is that? is because that person is then using those other people to farm to get this. And listen, to each his own. Hey, I respect it. Like the hustle's out there, but for those people underneath, they're always going to be in the shadow. They're always going to be underneath that other person. Yeah. And if you're a creator who's trying, like, you need to step out on your own 2 feet. And that's what I was kind of saying, is that like creators need to make sure that they can pull their own weight. And then you combine.
But that's the difference with ambition, right? Because that person on the top is ambitious and grinding, and they have their creators that are underneath them. And like you said, that creator that's underneath them needs to be willing to step out. I think a lot of them get comfortable, right? I'm making a good amount of money every single month. I'm okay. I can do this, you know, and be pretty good. So I'm scared to step out. I'm scared to jump away and do my own thing. And I think people get complacent with that. Yeah. And it just becomes, and here's the thing. It's different if that person is making a lot of money, paying you a lot of money to do things with them. It's a business, right? Yeah. You work for someone, that's fine. But if you can't make a living off of being with the bigger group, then you do have to branch out. That's what you want to do. If you want to make a living streaming, then you eventually do have to branch out.
Yeah, you got to do something yourself. And I'll be honest, it's hard. You can't. I mean, the money that you make is like peanuts. Yeah, if you got to be pulling some crazy numbers to be making like living off money. Off this shit.
It's not easy.
Yeah, especially if you got like real life sort of responsibilities. Yeah. You know, you got a mortgage to pay, you got bills to, do this, you got to put food on the table, you got kids, you got a relationship, stuff like that. So like a lot of people don't see it like that, where everybody's set up different, right? And you have that one creator that has that full-time job that does it on their free time, and they want to replace their full-time. And listen, you probably could do it, but the likelihood, it's kind of like you being a singer and being like, I think I want to have the next #1 hit. You know what I mean? It's like, you got to be realistic with yourself in that aspect. And you've seen a lot of people come and go on the streaming industry. It's like a rotating door. People come up and then they run out of steam. They get burnt out, or they find out that like, shit, man, this shit is not working, or life consumes them. How many freaking big time people that we've seen, especially on Rumble, fade off in the distance?
And it's lasting, right? Like you said, it's a staying power, because it is hard.
It's a marathon race. It's not a sprint.
And I think one thing you said earlier is the personality is a big deal, right? People being able to connect, because you don't want to get audience capture. You don't want to sit there, do something that works, and have to top it and top it and top it. Yeah. If they're coming to watch you because they just enjoy you, right? Yeah. They enjoy the streams you put on, and you don't have to go over the top. You don't have to pretend. Then you are in a much better place than the person that has that meteoric rise on a gimmick, and then they continue to go. But eventually when that gimmick stops, like a lot of these nuisance streamers, right? And you have a lot of these individuals that do this type of crazy shit, they will eventually burn down. And that's just how it works. It's important. You said the personality is a big part of it.
Yeah, I think the personality is, a lot of people try to be people that they're not. And that's not faulting on them at all. You know, that's like kind of like a personal sort of development or personal growth sort of thing, where a lot of people try to do or mimic other people because they see it that it
and that's
it works.
Not even in streaming, that's in life, right? There's people that just do that in life. I mean, Limp Bizkit made a song about it.
You know, like there's people that just clone other people, and it works sometimes, and people may like it, but at the end of the day, it's like, are you authentic? Like my whole thing, you know, and I hate to say it, it's not throwing shade on VTubing, because like, you know, like I respect it, and that, you know, the Burn Peanut, of course, is one of the biggest, you know, sort of creators that are out right now, but like you have to really understand something here, is like, as a content creator, it's like, why would somebody hide behind an image, a mask, or this or that? Like, why would you do that? Like, and that's like a personal question. Like, it's like, it makes you wonder. It's like, is that person not happy with themselves? Is that person scared to what people may think if they know like that? Because those people would never turn up to real life events. You know,
I think a lot of it's stage fright and courage. You know, and I think like we see some, like I think Yellow Flash now shows up to a lot more events in person. Right. I think initially, because it takes a little bit of, you know, a little narcissism like us to be on stream, right? Yeah. Cameras going, you know, us talking, pretending like people want to fucking listen to what we have to say. Like, there is something to that you have to have a little bit of, you courage. Know, a little bit of moxie and courage to do this all the time.
I mean, but if you're putting on a persona already, I mean, that's the courage as is, right? Think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're putting yourself out there. It's like, why hide? Be yourself.
I just think a lot of VTubers, especially, I think a lot of the girls, especially we hear, I think just they're not courageous in that sense, because I think especially too, if they compare themselves to some of the like true smoke shows that are making a ton of money just because they're hot, and maybe they're not as good looking, or they don't think they're good looking, right? That's maybe one reason, or they just really like anime and they just want to all be anime girls.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not defending. I'm just throwing out some of the reasons why.
Yeah.
But, you know, I prefer being able to see who I'm talking to. Like I said, I'm not knocking the VTubers. We've had Master of the TDS on here. Master of the TDS was fucking awesome. He's really cool. And we would have other VTubers on, but I've never personally gotten the VTubing thing either. I've never been, to spend, and the rigs aren't cheap. To spend the money to get the rig, and especially if you don't make it back, if you don't make it big, you just put in a lot of money.
Yeah, then it's a hobby at that point.
Yeah, an expensive one. So, but you know, and I'm happy for the ones that make. I'm happy for like Kirsho and Leaflet and the ones that are doing really well. But I personally have never gotten the VTubing thing. Like, it's, I don't know. I think Dave would look better as a VTuber. But
yeah, I think.
Well, the interesting thing about that is that it started. I don't want to go into history of the bullshit, but it started in Japan as an idol thing. It's idols but fake. So. And that's why there's big corporations that house the VTubers, and independent VTubers are a whole different thing in of themselves, because they're not idols anymore, right? They're just people live streaming for the most part. I mean, some might have their own.
We saw that one company that stiffed that big one, right? That chick that was a
a
little while ago, a few months ago.
I can't remember.
So I do want to get to a few comments because Wishnick over here giving us a whole bunch. Wishnick saying Lumpy is always going into the gaming sections, finding new creators and rating to them, giving them an intro to the rest of the Lumpy community. Word of mouth is key.
Yes, it is.
Basically an intro to Rumble gaming space. You should also be able to stand alone without the group. Yeah, all these are good points. And Wishnick also closing out with, for me as a viewer, I want you to be you, not being or doing something you're not. I want real and genuine, just try to be normal, so to speak. So, and I think that's big. And the thing is too, I think, and Lumpy, you'll probably be able to attest to this also being in the space. Those people that either do the VTubing or put on the show are afraid that people are going to reject who they are if they're just authentic. It's a fear of that rejection. Me, I don't give a fuck. I never have. If you don't like me, you don't like me.
Because that's from you. You're from New York. That's why.
Yeah, well, I'm a Jersey guy initially, so it's the same. It's the same shit.
Close enough.
Shit.
Yeah. New Jersey and New York don't like each other because they're the same fucking people.
I'm from fucking New York too, baby. I'm here.
From the city. What part of New York?
From the city. I'm originally from Brooklyn, so you know. Okay. Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan.
I heard the accent too. I was like, he's got that Northeast a little more there. Like I heard it in.
Yeah, I was in Florida for a little bit. Born and raised in New York, of course. I mean, my backstory is I was actually a New York City cop for a little bit. And then started my own businesses and then ended up moving to Florida, coming back. Now I'm out here by the Hamptons. So it's like,
nice.
It's the New York thing. And, you know, I think that a lot of people just don't understand our
the Northeast,
our culture.
Like you want to leave. It sucks, but then you can't leave.
No, but nobody gets you. You know, like you ever go somewhere and they'd be like, you're from fucking New York, aren't you? You're like,
yes.
Yeah.
And then they're like, you have an accent. It's like, no, you have a fucking accent. What are you talking about?
What are you trying to say? Like, I was in Mexico and they're like, where are you? You're from New York, aren't you? Like, I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking from New York.
Yeah. The one thing I always tell everyone though is you listen to national TV. What's the accent they go for? Northeast, nowhere else. So I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
like it's all, they always want to talk like us in the Northeast. So everyone else has an accent, not us.
Yeah,
I know people, Nate's probably fuming over there because Nate is from the Midwest. So he's probably like, fuck you, dude. So I want to jump into Subnautica. Now, Dave, I don't know much about this controversy. What the fuck happened, Dave?
No, it's funny because there is more than one, but the big one that at least I've seen on Twitter most is about Subnautica 2 not allowing players to kill fish or other sea creatures using weapons or tools.
Which I've played. I did the release. I did it for like 9 hours.
Yes. Now, I played a bit of Subnautica 1, and I watched a lot of it on YouTube, especially the early access stuff. And Subnautica 1 had a lot in early access that they were trying and messing around with. So, Lumpy, what do you think about what's going on with Subnautica 2? I mean, the game looks beautiful, which I'm not surprised. Subnautica is beautiful.
I mean, as a gamer, I think the second one was a solid release. I think it was great. But I also understand is that like this generation of gamers are very fucking picky, man. And you know, you want to talk about cancel culture. You could just see how like, you know, like the Steam reviews and this and that. Like now I know you can get into like, I read about like before they didn't have like sex or genders in it before, and then they got heat about it, and then the release they came out with, you know, guys and girls and different races, so they kind of put that not killing kill fish. That's nothing to be fucking mad about though. Like, you're playing a deep water fucking survival game. You know, like, you have to like understand, like, if you want to do that, you have to know what you're getting yourself into. Now, if you want to do that, then that's something that you have to voice your opinion on. But to get bent out of shape about not being able to kill a fish or not having defenses, I really think that's not that. Like, what are we talking about here? I think there's bigger things to be talking about. Now, I know there's other things with the game, but that one right there, I think that's reaching a little bit.
And then just to steelman it a little bit more is, at least from some of the things that I've seen, is that it seems like that some of the encounters can be a little bit too annoying if you don't have a lot of things to go back on, and either be able to.
I think the only thing is the
shoot them away,
right?
Or kill them. I believe so, because I haven't played any Subnautica 2, but I just, from what I'm seeing, it's just like people. It's not just that you can't kill the fish; it's just that there are aggressive ones that are too aggressive, and you have no way to actually get rid of them.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I could see that, but that's not. It's early access. It's the best thing they're gonna say. It's not like they're gonna do anything. And if I'm not mistaken,
they may listen to this for the final release.
They may, and if I'm not mistaken, they also have mod capabilities, at least on the last ones, right?
Yes, and actually there is a mod already to be able to kill any fish.
There you go.
Subnautica 2, I did see that come out.
Here's one thing I do have to say about this, and you were talking about how picky the current gamers are, and I think we've lost the ability to just be like, that's a good game, not a great game. We're always looking for a great game, like,
oh yeah,
visually stunning, is the story amazing? Can I play this for 300 hours? It's like, sometimes you just grabbed the game and you went to the rental store, you rented a game because it was just good, and you were like, that was a good game. Like, did it have its problems? Sure. Were there some things that pissed me the fuck off? Yeah. Is it a great game? No. But was it a good game? Sure. Like, that used to be our bar, because we had a ton of games to choose from too, especially from PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3. You had like library upon library. And it's like, was it a good game? Right? Because I can go back. I love the Twisted Metal series. Was every Twisted Metal game good? No.
No. And back then there was no fucking updates. You got what you got, and you couldn't be upset about it.
You know, I went and got the game, what was it, Rogue Trip, which was like a knockoff of Twisted Metal. It had friggin' Mighty Mighty Boss Stones in it. That was the highlight. That Mighty Mighty Boss Stones was friggin' blaring. It was a very bland game. Now, was it a bad game? No. It was a good Twisted Metal clone, and I was happy that it was good. And that's the thing. Like, people just want these amazing, great games, and it's like, and we have nostalgia for these games, and people will talk about like a game like Jet Moto or Too Extreme, and it's like, oh, they were great. No, they were good games. They were good. You could play them. You can get pissed off. You had fun, but were they great? Were they game of the year? No. We just need to let games be good now and just enjoy them.
Yep.
Now, I will say, I think what also hurt them at first is one of the devs did say, go play Sons of the Forest if you do. And like, their whole reasoning for not wanting killing in this was because of some real world events, some real world shooting. So they didn't want guns in it. And it, that really played into a lot of the responses to this as well. Now, they have come out with this statement that they put on Twitter to link to this, where basically they're just saying that they're listening to it. They're still not really going to add killing, but they're going to tinker with things for mitigation tools, to creature aggression, and all those types of things, so that the game is not frustrating, and it's more of just you can actually find ways to do things. And if you can't do that, then maybe you should learn how to play.
All of these people should be on a gag order until 100 days after a game releases. Everyone involved with the game should be on a gag order, because they don't help.
Well, but the thing is, it's early access, and and they say it in this letter, the reason for early access is so that you can really understand where the game is going to go when it really fully releases. Mm-hmm. And you're getting a lot of that feedback, and you're going to figure out a way to make it as perfect as you could.
It's a new way to say beta.
In a way, but also it's just a way to really get in touch with the people that are actually playing your game and figuring out, okay, what's actually going wrong here? How is everything interacting? and how can we make this as good as we can when we're actually going to release this thing.
So, Lumpy, what would you give Subnautica to? You said you sunk 9 hours into it. How do you feel about the game overall? Is that something that when it's out of early access, when it's a full release, are you going to make sure, are you going to play it again, or the 9
Yeah,
hours you played?
out of 10, I give it a solid 8 or an 8.5.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think it's a solid game. I mean, base building, of course, is a fundamental of it, and it's good survival, and finding materials and the different types of things where you need to explore and find. I think it challenges people. You have to go out. They don't give you kind of a playbook. You kind of have to go out and do your own thing. So, I mean, I like it. It's challenging. It's not easy. Yeah, of course, there's some limitations, but it's not game breaking to me. I think for the nature of what the game is made for, I think they did pretty well. I mean, is there things that they could tweak or maybe add? Yeah, but I think that's that early access phase, right? They released that bare bones, and then they're gonna elaborate on it, just like anything else, right? I hate to say it, but every game comes out nowadays is early access,
pretty much,
and then it gets better. So
yeah.
But for starters, I think there's a good foundation. I think they had a good success on the first, and then was the ice one that they had, the
Below
DLC.
Zero, which I heard was just subpar, at least comparatively to what Subnautica 1 was.
So they got a strong set, but like you said, you're dealing with a different crowd, different industry now. Where it's really based on the consumer. The consumer, everybody gets on this. Cancel culture has turned into cancel culture for gaming. As soon as a fucking industry sort of big creator says, "Oh, this game is trash. I don't want to play it no more," everybody gets on that bandwagon, and next it doesn't become anything.
I mean, well, we also saw the inverse though with Mixtape, where all the mainstream gave it 10 out of 10, 9.8 out of 10.
Someone's getting paid underneath the table.
Oh man. I was actually watching Mahler play that because he's playing it today. I was watching him play that before coming on the stream. It's pretty damn funny. I'm not gonna lie.
Did you bother playing Mixtape at all, Lumpy?
Never, no. It's not my cup of tea. But I respect to say that. To each his own. I just want to waste my time with it. I mean, I'll browse games and be like, nah, that's not something I'm gonna like. But if somebody likes it, hey, listen, there's a game out there for everybody.
Yeah,
it's not for me.
I don't know how I feel about early access because, you look at that and it's I think this is part of the problem because I think early access, people are expecting to get this polished game out of early access, right? And that's not what the purpose is. The purpose is, like Dave said, for people to get a feel for it, for you to see your game base, for there to kind of be a little interaction, right? But I feel like early access could also bury your game. Because if it does not come out and people are truly not enjoying it on early access, you can do so much. Your diehards will come back and play it, but it could fuck over your final sales.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of it, really.
Yeah. I was talking to a developer a couple days ago, and I think the key is that if a developer or studio team will listen to their community's feedback, that's the key to success. As long as you have a base foundation and open line of communication, I don't think the sky's the limit. You listen. That's your product right there. They're telling you what they want and this and that. And yes, of course, you may have a vision or your team may have a vision that they want, but you kind of gotta, if no one's playing your game, what's the vision? Then it's a vision just for yourself. So
I just see Expedition 33 and they just dropped it, right? And people just took the game and what it was for, and it was a good game. I feel like if you're confident in your product, just fucking drop it.
Well, but speaking of sky's the limit, one of the prime examples of fucking up in the beginning, then listening to your community and figuring out how to make the game what you want it to be is No Man's Sky. From all accounts, No Man's Sky is now a fantastic game for exactly what it was supposed to be. All the hype was when it was launching. When at launch, it was a disaster.
It was.
But now it's much, much better. And it's because the developers, they wanted to see this thing through. They realized they fucked up and they said, look, we're going to listen. We're going to actually make this the game it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And it's good on them for that. So I want to jump to some of the comments here. Wishnik coming in saying, I'm from Gen X. You either like me or you don't. I'm going to tell you straight. And I love that. I think a lot of people need to be more that way. Wishnik also saying, I grew up where you could be honest with people, not this dealings trumps truth and facts. And listen, I'm so tired of the your truth, my truth. I hate that this fucking week in my daughter's elementary school, they have mental health awareness week. They are 6 through 8. They do not need to know anything about mental health. But that's me with mental health. I'm a big anti-mental health advocate. People have it, but not everyone fucking does.
Yeah.
Keep your mental health to your fucking self unless it's actually medical. Nate G's coming in saying New Jersey, aka the shadow of New York City. Get it right. We're the fucking armpit of New York. Nate, if you're gonna better get your insults correct, damn it. Wishnick saying Lumpy was pretty funny playing it. Also saying you can outrun them and get on the little motor jet.
Yeah, you can.
And Wishnick also saying, me personally, I will try a game and decide for myself. And that's the best way to do it, right? And you have more ability to do that now than you. I mean, maybe not ever, because we did have the rental stores, right? If you really liked the game, you went down. We had easy video by us because Blockbuster fucking was a piece of shit. And they always have been. I hate that nostalgia post we just saw. Bring back Blockbuster. No, I do not want to bring back insane fucking late fees. Never having the goddamn game you want. None of that. The mom and pops were so much better, but I digress. So speaking of insane prices, Lumpy, what the fuck is Sony doing? What are they doing?
I mean, you
win the console war and you decide I could do whatever the fuck I want now.
I mean, you have to also understand is that PlayStation was always free.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the online was always free. They were the last one standing. It did. But now you have all these data prices and this and that. So they got to capitalize it. I mean, it's bad enough they're charging an arm and a leg for consoles now too.
Yeah.
So you got to understand is that they're just joining the game. I mean, look at Xbox. Xbox charging that $29.99. Now they dropped it down to $22 for the subscription. So the subscription war is always going to be a thing. I mean, there's fucking a subscription for fucking 7-Eleven. I mean, there is subscription for everything.
McDonald's, all of it. Yeah.
I mean, like,
what is the app with Klarna where you can
track? I mean, if you think about how many subscriptions, you need a subscription for a subscription I need a subscription to manage my subscriptions. Think about that for a second. So. It's
and then you have the two-step authentication, whether you want to fucking do it or not. Mm-hmm. Hey, you have a password, but we're still going to send you something that you need to re-verify. It's like, then why do I have a password?
Yeah, so it's like one of those things, right? I saw this coming for a very long time. I mean, I'm surprised it took this long. So listen, at the end of the day, their prices are probably the cheapest. Now, what's going to be included in that? I mean, listen, we need to go back to the day and age where you bought Xbox Live and it came with a fucking headset.
Give us something, right?
So I don't know. Maybe PlayStation is going to have sort of that thing where Xbox offers you those kind of like plus rewards, for different types of games and this and that. But this was something I saw coming. I'm surprised it didn't happen. I'm not a PlayStation guy myself, so I've never had the luxury of having the free. I can see if you were a PlayStation head and you believed in PlayStation, always had PlayStation, for this to happen. Well, us Xbox people had this from the fucking jump, okay? so take out the motherfucking wallet, all right? Welcome to the fucking club, okay? This is it. This is it.
It's funny. PlayStation 5 is the first PlayStation system I didn't buy. I had 1, Slim, 2, 3, 4. Like, I had them all. 4 was the last PlayStation I bought. And it's a combination of things, right? Wife and 2 kids, can't play as much. I've chosen podcasting as my hobby over that. And just being around with them more. So it's like, I kind of picked it. But when I looked at the price, even if I wanted to buy it, I'm like, I am not going to go and spend the money for all of my kids' dance classes to buy a fucking gaming system. Like, so when it comes to the other things coming out now, you obviously have Helix coming out from Xbox, which is going to be, more connected to the internet and stuff like that. And the Game Pass is going to be major. You have the Steam Machine, which if they keep it around 600 to 650, it is going to really fuck up everyone's day because you're just putting an OS onto a TV. Like, it is big right there. So with those two coming out, is this a good move for Sony? Or are they going to have to adjust to more of a model where they're just becoming a hosting and operating system as well?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's a tough one, right?
At this point, anything fucking surprises me nowadays. At this point, just get a computer and just call it is. Get rid of the consoles.
That's what I say to everyone now.
Well, that's what Helix and Steam Machine are doing. But here's the thing. You'll lose so many gamers because the revolution of the console was the plug and play. There's no extra work. I don't have to go sit at a desk. I could sit on my couch and I can fucking plug, start playing immediately.
Yeah, and most casual people are still going to want to play on a console. Like most people that are playing simulation sports games aren't going to want to fucking play on a PC. They want to play on a console.
And they're not going to play on a Switch too because the graphics fucking are balls compared to your PlayStation, your everything else. So
yeah, but I think that the consoles, I think they're going to phase out into compute. Like they're mini computers as begin with. If you open it, it has a hard drive. They have everything. They just have their own OS, right? If you think about it, that's really the only thing that's different. So, I mean, you see now, was it Xbox now has Steam? So, they're starting to adapt very quickly. But like, it's just time will tell. I mean, I think that a lot more people are buying computers over consoles because now computers you could hook up any controller to. PlayStation controller, Xbox controller, custom controllers,
that Steam controller apparently is pretty fucking intuitive with the D-pad in the middle. I was watching Melee games, and I know they're over on Rumble too, James and Kay, and they were saying that it's the back bumpers, if you have a regular size man hand, is tough, but the actual D-pad, the mouse pad in the middle is actually really intuitive.
Yeah, I like I said, but being able to but that's connected to what, a computer?
Yeah, it's connected to my computer.
There you go. So it's like computer, I think, is a safe bet. But the thing is now with computers nowadays, it's pricey. With consoles, it was always cheap. But if you think about it now, what is a PlayStation? $699? I mean, you could probably get a fucking pre-built for $599. That is probably 10 times powerful than that PlayStation.
Well, even then, you might have to spend a little bit more for a PC that still plays well, but it'd be worth it in the long run because you can just get so many more games on the PC.
Yeah, exactly. And especially that everything's on a PC built. The only thing that I think that a lot of these consoles held was like those exclusive titles, which they're no longer holding.
They're going back to it. They announced they're going back to exclusives. I think but that's going back to being exclusive. God of War.
It's already, you can't put the toothpaste back.
Here's the thing. If you're Sony, I'm going to the Claire Obscure team and I am paying them a ridiculous amount of money to make me an exclusive game, right?
I don't think Sony has the money anymore.
Yes, they do. Those big companies figure out ways. They have accountants that figure out ways to loosen up 100 million. Because the thing is, bottom line, if PlayStation can go and get another 3 or 4 exclusives that people are going to look for every year or two, that'll keep them afloat, right? Yeah. Because that's what kept Xbox afloat for so long. Gears, Halo, those types of games. Those were big. People wanted to play those. You could only do it there. It's why Nintendo has any sort of shelf life, because you want that Mario game. You want that Zelda. You want that new Star Fox. So that will be the only thing that saves them. If they can sit there and tell Steam to fuck off, I'm not going to give you guys my game. You have to buy a PlayStation to do it. Now, they need to make really good games, which, Lumpy, from your viewpoint, can AAA studios make good games anymore?
No, I mean, you're seeing indie developers make fucking bangers now. I think it's really all marketing at this point, and like you said, even marketing can't save you. So I have no, like, the 007 game that's supposed to come out in like a week or so. I have a feeling, and maybe you could mark my words, that is going to be fucking ass cheeks.
Well, he's not a womanizer. He's not. He's still the guy that all women want to be with, but he's really nice.
No, but I'm not talking about. I'm just talking about mechanic wise. I feel like you're gonna be like there's no curiosity. You're gonna have to stick to the script. You're gonna have to follow the path. You know what I'm saying? And no, I want to do some Hitman shit. I want to go in the crowd, fire the gun in the air. I want people to fucking run away and then me. But I don't think we're gonna get that. So like I have seen so much come from indie devs that AAA titles like they're just too much in the marketing and the sales that it ruins it. Like Call of Duty every year, same shit. Reskin.
Call of Duty hasn't been different in 15 years.
Fucking that's not the only one. Like NBA 2K, like this and that. Like
every time they try to improve Madden and 2K, it gets fucking worse. Yeah. They make it worse. They tried to make an improvement on the throwing about 8 years ago when you started throwing the ball, rotated fucking backwards. It's like every time they try and make improvements, it's worse. The only two
All they want to
gaming
do
series
is
that have been
sell
good is FIFA and
skins.
NHL. Those are the only two good ones that maintain being good.
Sell skins, fucking yeah,
Loot
it's
boxes and all that shit.
It's all Ultimate Team. That's all
Yeah.
it is. now
Yeah, it's
for
Ultimate
sport.
Team.
yeah.
So unfortunately, do we think Sony's doomed? What are we giving Sony another 5 years, 10 years, maybe?
I don't know. They're what
As a
Japan,
console.
China, Japan.
Sony
China,
is-
but I think Japan, but I think Tencent's going to buy everyone at some point. So
Yeah, I don't know. I think they have a strong leg. I think they got too much investors to go belly up. So I give them a couple. I give them at least 10 plus, just because how much hands. I mean, because Sony also has rights to a lot of like the fucking movies they're into, all that other stuff. So
yeah.
you know, they're cruising. They're cruising. But the gaming industry, of course, has like this weird. We're in this weird phase right now.
Yeah.
You know, like we were
the
waiting.
crash is coming. The crash is coming again. It's going to happen. We saw a little bit. They're letting out some slow bleeding. The layoffs that they're doing every year are trying to make it a slow bleed. But eventually, once AAA's come down, that's the crash. There's still going to be a lot of gaming. The indie devs are going to do well, but there's going to be a few of the big ones. Ubisoft is going to be on its way out soon, and that's a major player. If Rockstar, if fucking Grand Theft Auto, it's going to make $2 billion, but is it going to be a good game? Like, that's the thing. Like,
yeah, but you're gonna have to pay like $150 for that game, regardless.
They did announce a new bully though, which excites me that they're going to make a new bully.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they announced a new bully.
Yo, give me a good Red Redemption. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on.
Can they tell another story like that, right? The two Red Dead stories are two of the best stories in gaming.
I don't think we're going to get another. I didn't even know there was an actual news about another bully coming out.
No, I think Rockstar officially announced a new bully.
I don't see them being able to make anything like what Bully was. I feel like that's of that era.
Unless they have like a new engine that they're using for Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
You know,
they got to make a university edition where you can basically decide to be whether you're going to be a jock, a nerd, something like that in the college setting, and basically make it like Grand Theft Auto, like the original ones, where you're fucking with factions to try and gain their favor. Like that's it. Go back to the original Grand Theft Auto 1, 2 model where you're doing work for everyone to try and gain respect in that crew. And you could just be a little piece of shit fucking with everyone on the university setting. That's exactly, to me, that would be the ideal new bully.
Yeah.
They won't fucking listen to me because they all hate us. But so we'll get to a few more comments here. Nate coming in saying that's not my insult. That's Vinnie Mac. So I don't give a fuck. It's the armpit. Tell Vinnie Mac he's wrong too. Wishnick saying they need to go back to the way it was before. Put out a polished game. People are paying for a finished game, not unfinished or early access crap. I mean, Battlefront 2 is one of the things that lost me when they put out half a game and you had to pay for the other half.
Oh yeah,
it was a great game, but when you sat there and they didn't sell you both games, you had to pay for the other half. Fuck off. Nate G saying 7-Eleven Max is a hell of a sub. I'm happy to know that. L Wolf PR, what's going on? Nice seeing you over here. And then Santos, our buddy, saying, yo, Dave, MJF retakes his title Sunday.
Yeah, I
don't know if you're a wrestling fan at all. Are you a wrestling fan?
No.
We digress into wrestling a good amount here.
Yeah.
So he's saying we're hype.
Midget wrestling. I'm into that.
Micro wrestling. Yeah, micro wrestling comes around my area, dude.
We can say midget wrestling, Dave. Okay, it's midget wrestling.
No, but it's called micro. Like the fucking label is micro wrestling. That's their promotion.
Nah,
micro wrestling.
WWF used to have a midget wrestling class. It was fucking amazing.
I think the last time I watched wrestling was like WWF, like early days.
Before they got the out, get the F out.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Matt saying this guest is a loser because he doesn't like wrestling. Matt, here's the thing. I'm going to throw Matt under the bus. Matt wasn't a wrestling fan until like 4 years ago. Okay. Like he fucking hated
and this
wrestling.
is the worst time to be a wrestling fan. Lumpy got out at the best fucking time.
That's like becoming a Knicks fan right now. Like, and you know what I mean? Because they're winning.
Yeah. I was going to say, well, now actually is the bandwagon.
We are suffering Nets fans. So,
oh God.
Listen, we grew up in Jersey. We were Jersey fans, and they went to Brooklyn, and we stayed.
Yeah.
The first 6 years in Brooklyn, the Nets made the playoffs. The first 6 years they were in, and they
when's
won.
The last time that happened, right?
We've been out of the playoffs now for 10 years.
Yeah,
at least maybe less. No, we had it with D'Angelo the first time. So 6 years, 7 years now. It's been bad. GTA 5 was Kino before they cut 70% of the adversary series. I mean, GTA 5, GTA runs into the issue where they put a whole bunch of songs in there. And I think one of the GTAs has this where they run out of the rights and permission. So the radio like goes all fucking haywire. You can't listen to it anymore. So that's only if you're connected online, which everything is now.
GTA is just going to be just fine if their online is good enough that the role-playing community wants to play in there still.
Yeah.
Because they get a lot of money.
For this new GTA, they got to have a dope storyline.
Yeah.
They got to have a dope. I mean, of course, the online thing, I think, the single player is going to come out, and just like they did, they always wait for the online. They never release the online unless they do both, then it'll be major. But they've always released GTA first with the story and the single player, and then do that. Now, I don't think they talked about anything about being co-op. I think it's going to be a single player, and then the online, and of course, the modding and the ecosystem.
Of course, that makes it huge. The role playing and shit like that.
The only kicker is that if like GTA like makes it like official servers, like you can't have your own, then it's like, then you're gonna cut all the RP out because now they're gonna prioritize everything. Everything.
Yeah, it's the official servers, and if they don't be to traditional GTA, I said this when they gave us the female protagonist, I'm fine with that. But if they pull any punches, if they don't make fun of everything and everyone, if they're not raunchy, like I hear they have, the big news is they have pride parades in there. If you can't fucking run through the pride parade and just murder people like any other time,
I mean, the thing is, we're never going to know because the game's not going to come out until 2028.
Yeah,
the game's never coming out. It's never coming out.
No, it's going to keep pushing it back.
They're going to cancel it.
Back. I get, yeah. At this point,
going to run out of money and they're going to cancel it.
Yeah. Or somebody's going to come out with something else.
Yeah, exactly.
What was it? The Rockstar North in Canada got caught on fire like last year or 6 months ago, and
those are the servers. Those are the servers.
To be like, oh, we lost all of the information in GTA 6. Sorry, guys, we're never releasing it. Like,
imagine if that actually happened, though. Imagine being a developer on GTA 6 and that you somehow lost everything.
They got paid.
Like,
still,
I feel like Rockstar is waiting for that excuse because I don't think they want to release the fucking game.
It's true.
Oh my god.
But it's true.
Anyway, Lumpy, you're the fucking man. Thank you so much for coming on.
No, thank you for having me. I appreciate you guys, man, so much. And keep doing what you're doing. Of course, it's always a pleasure to talk. Would love to come back on whenever. Whenever you guys need, just hit me up. We'll schedule it. But man, it's one of those things. Rumble is sort of a niche right now, but it's going to continue to keep pushing forward, as well as other creators like myself and others continue to keep pushing that line forward and showing people that there's other content on here besides fucking Trump this, Trump that. Listen, I think that Rumble is known for good political shows. I'm not taking that away from them, but there's a lot of life to be lived on this platform, and hopefully I could introduce or influence others to do the same and to give it a shot. If you're a creator, I think there's a lot of possibilities on here than any other platform. And I think that you would be leaving money on the table if you're actually putting in the work and you want to be seen. There's not that much competition. There's a lot of categories that are empty on this platform that you can take house of and build a really good following for yourself. You just got to be determined and put yourself at it. So, I appreciate you guys and what you guys do.
Thank you.
And, hopefully we could, drop on a game one of these days.
Yeah.
Maybe we do it.
I'll say this. Rumble's got 2 years to really get it together because Trump's gone in 2 years, y'all.
Yeah.
So where the fuck are all the political shows going to go? There's going to be a huge dip in the political space once Trump is gone. I mean, for the 4 years of Biden, he was luring, so he wasn't as bad. Trump's gone. Unless Eric or Don Jr. run, it's going to be, there's going to need to be more. So the gaming space is a big spot to go. Lumpy, I do have to say, too, that promo graphic you made yesterday was nicer than any fucking thumbnail I've ever made for YouTube. I'm looking at this going, this motherfucker made a nicer thumbnail than anything I could do. No, it was dope. Really good stuff.
And a funny thing that you say that is, a lot of people, when I came to this space and you see that I take pride into a lot of my thumbnails. I like to have fun. Is a lot of people don't have a lot of tools and access to certain things. So something that I just we posted right when the show was happening is, I've been making like a little platform because I was like, man, what can I do to help people? Because I can't teach people how to make art. You know what I mean? Like that's something like you got to come and do yourself. But what I can do is I could help get you the tools. So we made a little website that has like this online Canva. It's called Loot Layer, which is LayR.com, which is going to be like a free platform where you can go and actually design thumbnails and overlays.
That's fucking
awesome. And the tools will be right on there. You don't have to download any special software. There's going to be AI implemented on it, so you can go on there and do it. So it's something that's like, it's something that creators always need, right?
Like, is this going to be an app too, or is it already an app as well? Or
right now it's real early, like literally, like we hit the live button like probably not even 24 hours ago. So there's going to be bugs, but it's going to sort of evolutionize as sort of a online editor for you, right? And what's even better about this is like when you make something, you always want to get feedback from it, right? There's actually an option on there where you could share it, and other people on this platform could actually give you kudos or give you comments on it. Be like, yo, this shit is ass. Like, rechange it. Or,
yo, this is great. Good. You want that. You want to hear like this. This is not good at all. Change that shit up.
Yeah, before you start making it your thumbnails and stuff like that. And I think that that's sort of a niche that a lot of people were like missing. Like, and not only that too, is like I was privy to it. Like, how much you talk about subscriptions, how much you're paying for like all these design software. You're paying $15 a year, 30, like Canva's $30 fucking a month.
And it's crazy. It is wild.
And I'm not saying it's not powerful. I think it's a real powerful thing. But with technology nowadays, we could make it accessible for everybody, and especially a small creator. Not everybody has the 30 beans a month. I mean, if you think about it, that's how many subs? If you think about it, if you're getting $5 a sub, $30, you need at least 6 subs to cover that cost. If not, you're taking a negative. So my goal was, how do we make something that is scalable, but also more convenient? Now, not saying that it would never not be monetized. I'm sure that we would have to figure out ways, maybe crowdfunding or whatever. But like right off the bat, I think that freeware should be always a plus. And then down the road, as we get it to it, being a monster or as powerful as it should be, like I think it should be accessible for everybody. I get monetization is realistic because at that point, then it's a charity and this and that. But like, if it's crowdfunded and you let people decide what they want to give, when they want to give it, that's more powerful than anything in itself, right? So we came out with this, and we hope that it helps people. Listen, it may be a niche where it may help people or it may not. We're going to see how it goes. We're going to continue to keep updating it. But like, I did these lumpy lessons things where I like tried to help people like design. Like, there's just some people like thumbnails, overlays, stuff like that shit's important. And if you're a content creator and you're not dedicating time into that, and maybe you're like, shit, man, he's talking, like, you need to, because
Lumpy, you can tell me if my shit sucks later.
Listen,
okay?
like,
you can look at it and just be like, yo, your stuff is balls.
If somebody's using the same thumbnail and for the last year or 6 months, you're doing something wrong. All right. You should keep it fresh. You should keep it unique to what you're doing or what you're talking about. And you having the ability to do it. Well, maybe hopefully that this could help, or maybe it could lead you like, oh, this, of course, it's not going to be perfect because we're just testing it, but it gives people tools to kind of design it the way you want to design it, and not having to have all this fucking bloatware on your computer. Everything is in one place. And hopefully it helps people look better too, because that's the goal. We want people to look better, and we want people to get better at the crafts. Everybody hates AI. Everybody's using it. So it's either you use it or you get thrown off the bandwagon. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be against it and be like, oh, the Terminator is going to take us over.
It's a tool.
It's either you learn it.
Yep.
Correct. So with this, we are going to implement AI tools to help you design your designs. And listen, you don't like it, that's not you. That's fine. You can find other ways. But for people that want to learn how to do it, why not make it all in one place for somebody to kind of pick up and kind of move forward with it? So
I know I'm going to make an account and fuck around with it for our future thumbnails. It's dope. I want to give this a shout out all the time.
No, thank you. And listen, like I said, it's bare bones, but it's
put it in the notes.
It's a foundation. Hopefully it helps creators, because I want creators to look their best. I mean, how many times I'm on Rumble and I look at people's thumbnails, and you can go in the gaming section because I pick on them all the time. Like,
go ahead, Dave, jump in there. Let's pick on some.
Please. Let's just make an example here. Go to the gaming section at Rumble, and I want you to just filter through. Some of them are good, but you'll see some of them and you'll go down. Like, some people are like, the top people are like, but keep going down. Like, let's not look at the top. Like, you can see some of these sort of, the front page looks good. Let's go to the next one. People are getting better. But there's some people out here that are just, they need some work. You know what I mean? Like the what are we looking at there right on the bottom right hand? Wacky poker night Wednesdays or like this or that. Like you have to understand that when the first person is going through this,
Mhm.
they're gonna see what they want to experience,
Mhm.
right? As a viewer, I want to know what I'm going to get myself into.
Mhm.
And the best way you're gonna do it, I hate people say it's clickbait, whatever. You need to kind of attract the eye on the person.
Well,
Like
of course,
what you
people are going to judge right off that first impression. First impressions
correct.
matter.
What am I gonna get out of it? Like what is that top right hand corner? What does that have to do with Subnautica? I'm looking at cats. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe you got cats on stream, whatever. Like, but why isn't a cat in the water with the
Mhm.
fishes?
Mhm.
Like then
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
it. It continue to keep going down. It gets better. I promise you. It gets better. I promise you. People just use classic Batman. Okay, that's
Mhm.
fine. People use their image, or now Rumble has it where it automatically grabs their I guess their last 30 seconds and makes it their
Okay.
thumbnail.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you see, like, what is this guy's eyes? Like the purple. Like, what are we looking at? We're
Mhm.
looking, like, and that's where I hope that this could help people. I don't know. It could be a waste of time, but
Mhm.
or it could be a tool to get that person to the next level and to look better.
Yeah,
And that's the goal, is to help people look better, and hopefully that helps them succeed or get to the next level. Or give them ideas, to make better. So we came up with that, and hopefully it helps other people, small creators, and it's not the fucking Canva $30 a fucking thing. It's gonna have AI in it, so hopefully it helps people.
So
It's different.
yeah. Hey, Lumpy, when you have the time, send me a little bit about it. So like I said, I want to give it shout outs on the show when I
Yeah,
remember, because it's
for
just fucking
sure.
awesome. This
No,
is
for
good for
sure.
other creators, and that's the thing. And that just kind of says to, I guess, who you are. Obviously, you want to see other people do good shit. You could probably put this out. People know who you are, and you could probably ask and be like, "Hey, we're going to charge for this," and people will pay
Yeah,
because Lumpy said to do it, and you have a decent following. But
yeah,
to
but
put
it's
it
not.
out there for free and be like, "Hey, if you want to give money, give it. If not, that's fine." I
And
think it's the best way to go about it.
yeah,
Mhm.
and I think that's the main goal, is that at the end of the day, of course, sometimes it is about money, but sometimes it isn't. It's all about helping people out. Is you could be successful if you have a tool that solves a problem, right?
Yep.
And
Yep.
what's the problem? The problem is people don't have access to create top of the line thumbnails, or thumbnails they want to design the way they want to design it,
Mhm.
because maybe they can or do this. But if you provide that or solve that, it pays for itself, right? And that's kind of where we're going at. So we're gonna give it probably like a 30 to 60 days as we upgrade it and see how it works. If people start to use it, or we lose it, it's kind of like that.
Yeah. That's
I
a
like
great
it.
idea.
So everyone go check out Loot Layer and make sure that you
Appreciate it.
go play with it and see what you
Yeah.
could do with it. And again, if you
Break it,
like it,
report the
use it.
bugs,
Mhm.
Yeah. And
uh
I'll say this, Lumpy is incredibly accessible. It was just as simple as shooting him a DM over on X. And if you want to, it's a good time to bring it up at the Lumpy Potato over there. So if you want to shoot him a DM, and if it's about this, just be like, hey, I just played with Loot Layer. This is good. This is bad. I like this. I like that. Blah, blah. Give them feedback. They'll need it, but use it. Use it,
yes.
because I will say that that's one of the toughest things, is finding a thumbnail, and people pay people pretty good fucking money. If
Yep.
they're a bigger streamer, people pay good money to make sure that those thumbnails look good.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And so it's a market, it's a part of it. Part of this is marketing ourselves. And if you're not going to market yourself as good as you possibly can, then you're going to get what you deserve. And
Yeah.
that's just how it is in the end. So that looks awesome. Lumpy, I think that's going to work out real well. Like I said, I want to give a shout
Appreciate it.
out. So I definitely want you to give me a few things to say about it, so I can not sound like an asshole when I'm talking about it too.
No, no
But
worries. No worries.
so outside of that, make sure everybody follows him at the Lumpy Potato. Go on Rumble, follow him over there, Lumpy Potato, and make sure if you do follow him, you're from here. Tell him that Cuestacast sent you,
Yep.
so that he can know. If you're on Rumble right now watching and if you haven't followed yet, please do. We're looking to get into that creator program and stuff like that. We only do the show once a week right now, so it is a little tougher. We're not on 5 days a week like a lot of people. But if you're new, if you're one of Lumpy's fans and you like what you saw, make sure you
drop that follow.
Yeah. And if you're on any other platform and you're watching, you haven't followed yet, please do it there. Make sure you smash the like button as well. That helps for visibility and getting more people to look, and just go follow us everywhere at Cuestacast_. So we appreciate everyone for watching. We'll be back next week. Dave, who do we have on? I think we have a few people. I know we have Olivia Dasovic coming on, and the little platoon will be on with her. So we're going to have a good, fun conversation there. So everyone, thank you so much for watching. We will be back next week.
Later, guys.
So long.
But I can't lie, I struggle with faith sometimes, and I ask why. I question his work some nights, I try to look up when I feel stuck. I try to look up, and I put my faith in him. The question of your faith builds perseverance, and perseverance must finish this race. So choose to love it now, be welcome and embrace it. Let him do his work, but you must work, don't get complacent. Don't let that seed of greed plant its roots in your foundation. The house you build is nice, but underneath it you'll find Satan. And then you'll become a victim, you'll grow cold and start complaining. So choose to see the sun behind the clouds when it is raining. You choose to keep believing, you choose to keep on fighting. You choose when something's wrong, you do your best to make it right. And you choose to never quit. If there's darkness, there's a spot that you could brighten. I take my pain in words and try to offer good advice. And I do not have all the answers, I do not have all the fixtures, but if you keep it pushing, referring back to the scripture, there's a chance it will get better, and we live for that. He made you from his ribs, so know you're built for that. Yeah, we're built for that. But I can't lie, I struggle with faith sometimes, and I ask why. I question his work some nights, I try to look up